Hey pimps, DocDrydenn from the PiMP OS support team with another video. In this video I want to show you the different ways that you can remotely connect to your PiMP machines. Yes, it is possible to just hook up a monitor and keyboard and mouse and call it a day. But there are other options, and everybody likes options. PiMP OS will give you those options. Let me start by saying that this video is not going to be a pros and cons of each type of connection. What I will say is that not all connection options are equal, and Google is your friend. At the end of the day, it really just comes down to whichever way you feel most comfortable with. Connect to your PiMP machine the way you want to. So for this video, I'll be demonstrating some of these options from my Windows machine to a PiMP machine that is running in a virtual environment. Besides the client software of your choice, you're going to need three pieces of information: the username, the password, and the IP address of your PiMP machine. If you've not changed anything, your default username and password is root, R-O-O-T, and the password is live, L-I-V-E. Okay, so let's start off with acquiring our IP address. If you have access to your PiMP machine, right on the desktop, if I move the terminal window out of the way, the desktop widget will show you your PiMP machine's IP address. Alright. So let's start off with the number one recommended way to connect to your PiMP machines, and that is SSH, also known as a secure socket shell. It gives you a direct connection to your PiMP machine terminal and uses the least amount of resources from your PiMP machine. So we have a couple different options for SSH connecting. Most modern day operating systems include an SSH client in them, and Windows is no different. So to access the SSH client that's built into Windows, we need to open up a command prompt. So I'll do that right now. And the command that we run is pretty straightforward. It's SSH space, the username, in our case is root, at, and then the IP address of our PiMP machine. Then we can just hit enter, and we'll be prompted for our password, which the default password is live. And now we have access to our PiMP machine and every option that we would have from the actual local desktop. All PiMP commands, editing, full controls. Another option that most PiMPs probably have access to is PuTTY. So I'll open up PuTTY, and it will ask us for roughly the same information. We're going to start by typing in our IP address into the host name. And then we can just click on open. Here's where it will ask us for the username first, which is root, followed by asking us for the password. And this looks a lot like our command prompt access. We still have full control of our PiMP machine and every PiMP command available. Another connection option that we have is VNC, or also known as Virtual Network Computing. Just like SSH, this is going to require a client of some sort to be installed on your host machine. So in this case, I'm going to use MOBA Xterm. So I'll open that up, and I will create a new session, and VNC is the one that we're going with. All VNC clients are still going to ask for the same information, and in this case it's asking for the IP address of our PiMP machine. And then we can just click OK. And here it is now asking us for our password. Remember, our default password is live. And we'll no for the password save. And here we are. We now have a connection directly to the desktop of our PiMP OS machine, which matches what is going on with our PiMP machine. If I can minimize this window. And you can notice that the connection is shared. So as I move the mouse in my VNC client, you'll see the mouse moving in our virtual PiMP machine. Everything that I do in one is reflected in the other. So we have access to our terminal, and of course every PiMP command and control is also available to us. Okay, so the last connection option I'm going to cover in this video is RDP, or also known as Remote Desktop Protocol. This is a Microsoft protocol, and Windows computers have RDP built into them. So I will demonstrate that one here with the Remote Desktop app that's built into Windows. This is going to ask us pretty much the same thing. It needs the IP address of our PiMP machine. So I'll type that in. And I will hit connect. It'll prompt us for security. Yes, we want to connect. And there we are. We now have access to the desktop of our PiMP machine. As you can see, this is also a shared connection. So what I do in one is reflected in the other. And we have full access to every PiMP command and editor and controls that exist. Okay, so those are a couple of the ways that you can remotely connect to your PiMP machines. In this video, I just quickly covered a few of the client programs that exist. For a comprehensive list of the different client software that is available, you can check out the link in the description to the wiki page that will show you all of the different clients that exist. And they list out what protocols they use. So you can sort the list by protocol, and you'll be able to see all of your RDP clients, your VNC clients, SSH, it's all there. So you have plenty of options to pick the software that you prefer, or you can just use the default built-in ones to most operating systems. Alright, pimps, be sure to check out the Get Pimp forums for any additional information, and happy mining.